Last weekend, Nintendo dropped their new Direct Mini video showing us a lot of new content coming for the Switch in 2018. And although there were some things missing, I picked 3 games that I think are going to be absolutely amazing on Nintendo's new main console. So let's see which games I've chosen. Let's start with the opener of this most recent Nintendo Direct. The World Ends With You had me flipping the table as soon as I saw the opening scene of this video. The original game for the Nintendo DS, released way back in July in 2007, has been developed by Square Enix and Jupiter. The title was heavily inspired by Jupiter's previous game, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory, which was also an excellent Game Boy Advance title, and if you haven't played it yet, I would highly suggest the game to give it a try, because that was a fantastic game, and I remember being a kid playing it just up to the end final boss fight and not being able to save during this fight as I had to go to school. I left on my Game Boy Advance all day until I came back just to finish this fight, and therefore the game was a really epic game and it's now fairly easy to get, so if you haven't played it, I would highly consider checking it out. But let's get back to The World Ends With You. While the DS original was mostly considered a hidden gem for fans of the action role-playing genre, it's no secret that its popularity has heavily increased over the last decade. I believe that the game has a lot of potential as a Switch port title, since it fits perfectly as a title you want to play on the get-go. Of course, you could also play it at home, but I think it fits just as a mobile game, and most people will definitely play it like that. So yeah, there you go. I also have to give Nintendo credits for the decision to bring the game back, as it was the second best selling title in Japan, and it's now time for players over the world that haven't experienced the story of the protagonist Neku Sakuraba to hop into the Shibuya-like scenario and to find out what the Reapers game is all about. That only leaves the question, for now, when do we get The World Ends With You 2, Nintendo? Payday II, I remember this game. I never managed to get a copy of it myself, but I have been playing it often at my friend's place and it was quite fun, I got to say. The game is undefeated at doing what it was designed to do, and it is letting the player impersonate a criminal that wants to plan his biggest bank robbery. But it doesn't stop there. As you try to figure out how to get those gold nuggets in your pocket, Overkill Software's game also lets you play this with a group of people online, so you can be even more successful in robbing the bank. And I believe the only other game that is really good at doing this as well is GTA 5 Online, and this game has been around for years now and still getting updates, so I need to give them a huge shout out for doing what they doing back there over at Rockstar Games. But yeah, the game Payday 2 was released in August in 2013 for PC, Xbox and PlayStation, and is now trying to make a comeback on the Switch. As it is already an existing game, you might as well just asking the question, why do you even bother putting this on your list? Well, the answer is easy. I believe that the Nintendo Switch not only needs his exclusive titles to reach Nintendo's goal of selling an additional 20 million devices in 2018, but also requires strong third-party titles like the said Payday 2 or even also the Dark Souls Remastered that was also just presented in this new mini direct video. And I think that's pretty much what the Nintendo Switch needs to succeed, because just focusing on the Nintendo exclusive games alone is not enough in 2018 to be reaching those goals. And I got to say, they're doing a quite just good job at it right now. Payday 2 just might be perfect for that, as it heavily supports multiplayer modes and therefore fits in the Switch experience sharing image, and also helps selling maybe the one or the other additional device for Nintendo. And I think it's just a really good game doing for what it was doing, but here I'm repeating myself, so let's move on. Payday 2 is planned to release on February the 27th this year, and if you want to get a copy, you just wait for one more month and you should be able to play it. The biggest selling point of the January Direct video for me is Mario Tennis Aces. Mario Tennis has been around for over 20 years now. The first game of the series was released in 1995 for the Virtual Boy and was called Mario Dreams Tennis during its development period. Later on, Nintendo simply changed the name to Mario Tennis. After this, there have been quite a few new additions to the series, and I'm pretty sure Mario Tennis was one of the main influence from which many other Mario sport games have been created. I mean, come on, you can basically do any sport with Mario nowadays. From Mario Tennis to Mario Golf, and from Mario Kart to Mario Basket, from Mario Soccer to Mario Olympics, from Mario Cooking to Mario Sharpshooting. Okay, now I'm overdoing it, but seriously, I could go on for 20 more minutes. Personally, I played a lot, and I mean a lot of Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, and somehow it never got boring. It was a good game, and yet alone the intro scene was getting to me every single time I put my Mario Tennis copy in my console and booted it up. Mario Tennis Aces is sure to make an impact on Nintendo's sales numbers, as it not only brings a lot of prestige with it, but also looks like an updated version of what we got so far in the series. With the implementation of a story mode, I think the group of interested people for the game is going to expand just a little further. Oh, did I mention that the controller's move features can be used to play the game, making the experience just that more realistic? And I think that's a pretty good point here to just promote this game a little bit more and explain my hype, why I'm so overly hyped to watch this game. But please make sure you don't hit any one of your beloved while smashing the next ball towards Bowser's face, while standing in your living room and screaming, "Mom, Mom, look what I've done, I can play tennis." Well, the game is set to release in spring this year, so we don't have to wait that much. And there you have it, guys. Those were my top 3 games from this Nintendo Direct mini video of January 2018. Make sure you head over to Nintendo and watch the full video, since there are much more games being covered than those 3 that I picked out of the bundle. As you can see here, there was a new Pokemon content for Pokétan, there was a new Kirby introduced, there was new content for Hyrule Warriors, there was new content for Mario Odyssey, and there was much more going on than I could ever just cover in this video of like 7 or 8 minutes. Of course, there's also becoming a remastered version of Dark Souls, so make sure you let me know which 3 games you are the most hyped for from this video, and which games do you miss from this video, because there are a lot of things that haven't been presented by Nintendo, although there have been rumors over the internet, or we know for a fact that some of those games will come. I'm looking at you, Pokemon and Super Smash Brothers, so let's just wait out for this information. And see you guys in the next video. Wish you the best. I'm out. Peace. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit a like and subscribe so you stay tuned for more videos from me, and it would help me out a ton. Thank you very much.